What is a community?
What is a community? And you're best Dick Van Dyke. Hello, Mary. When I get to meet somebody in the musical community, the first thing we do is establish mutual...
Who do you know?
Where else can you maybe meet a collaborator, maybe meet someone who can get you a gig, or at least you can talk about not having gigs together, or, you know...
What VSTs do you use?
Exactly. What'd you think of the new Pro Tools update, you know? Met my wife doing community theater. Get out there, folks.
Welcome to Two Composers, Two Continents, a podcast about our lives making music together and the people we meet along the way.
You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook at Two Composers, Two Continents using the number 2 and all audio podcast platforms.
Yeah, and don't forget to like, to subscribe, leave us a comment. It really helps, a review. And today, Jeffrey... Community. So we're going to talk about musical communities a bit. We're going to talk
just
about...
communities in general, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair to say.
So this is really about what we even call a community, why we want them, what the types of communities we're a part of. More musically focused, probably. So how did this come about? If this was to do with a chat
so we were just in Nashville recording. The brass guys, in particular the contractor for the brass, you were talking to him, and he knew a lot of mutual people that we've worked with and that you know in the UK.
Yeah, I might have his name. Might have the pronunciation wrong. I think it's Roy A.G. or A.G., but I think it's A.G.
Okay.
Yeah.
And and Roy knew some Chicago folks, and so we just got talking about what a small community the music community can sometimes seem. It does seem like that. You know, how you can work with someone here or in Nashville, and they're like, "Oh, I know Jim Galleretto, or I know these Chicago dudes."
And it's interesting. I find myself doing this. That when I get to meet somebody in the musical community, the first thing we do is establish mutual.
Who do you know?
Who do you know that I know, and that we can mutually go, okay, we've got something in common.
That's so true. Yeah.
So he was saying, "Oh, I know this guy Tom Walsh in London, and I've worked with this other guy Tom. If you're watching, hi." You're not watching. You're out making music, but but I've worked with these guys, and I know these guys in London, or as you say, and it was really interesting because it becomes a badge of honor almost that.
What community?
Okay, we're a part of a group, and you band together, and it feels surprisingly small. I mean, I know that part of this podcast is about talking about the many layers and the different parts, but some of the communities get smaller and smaller and smaller, and it's not about people who work in pop, it's about trombonists or just brass players or really small niche things.
That's what, like the brass guys, you know the other brass guys. And I mean, I'm sure it's a huge generalization, of course, but that these small communities in a larger community exist, because we don't, I mean, hip hop and bluegrass. I mean, there's a million genres of music that we know nothing about and don't run in.
I like the way you've put those two together. I would like to hear that.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's like yin and yang.
But right? I would like to hear those put together.
I'm sure it's out there.
But we don't run in those communities. But the ones we run in, which because of the nature of the music involve more live musicians as well as production, it's about people knowing people.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's. So I guess that's. We were trying to come up with what is a community.
And what is a community?
What is a community? And you're best Dick Van Dyke. Hello, Mary. But you said it was a group of like-minded people. Mm-hmm. And I think, obviously, if you've got geographical communities, you may not be like-minded at all. But so,
True.
You can have a community where you live, and it may be that you get together to talk about where the rubbish gets put out. I'm not using the word trash. I don't care if I'm in Hollywood. I'm a Brit through and through. But but it could be anything to do with local stuff. But in terms of what we're talking about,
it's music stuff,
it's like-minded stuff. Yeah. Right?
So we got talking about a larger conversation about communities, and we are. I've been involved with the SEL for a while, which is another community.
Well, hold on there. Well, let's go backwards here because we've never explained what the SEL
is. I know.
Is.
Well, we're going to do that right now.
Well, let's do that.
The SEL is an organization called the Society of Composers and Lyricists. I haven't been a member that long, a couple years really, maybe 3 years now. And got involved with the folks in Chicago in trying to start a Chicago chapter of the SEL. I know we wrote down what the SEL is here.
Oh, yeah. So do you want me to read it out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. The SCL is the premier non-profit organization for professional composers, lyricists, and music creators who work in visual media such as film, TV, video games, and musical theatre. It serves to advance the interests of these artists by promoting community, providing educational seminars, and it's
It's the largest single group of music creators in the industry,
Oh, there you go.
in the entertainment industry. So, I mean, that's just an example of a music community that we're both involved in now, because you have joined and are hopefully getting involved with the London
And
chapter.
there's a talk of there being a London chapter, and
Yeah.
I'm very much hoping to be involved in that. At time of recording, that's a discussion point.
Yeah.
And we do have other organisations, it should be said, in the UK, like the Ivors Academy, but still, I think there is room for another organisation, and I'm looking forward very much to being
Sure.
involved in that.
Well, and I think, just being involved in an organization in general, I think, at least for me, for the SEL, I mean, I'm a member of the Academy as well, the Recording Academy. And I mean, I've been involved with other things along the way. And to me, it's always so refreshing to be in a room with people who, one, you can have a conversation about really perhaps specific things of, we can talk about plugins and, and
Really geeky stuff.
Yeah, really.
Oh, what VSTs do you use?
Exactly. What'd you think of the new Pro Tools update? Jeez, really.
Honestly, I've been in those rooms.
Yeah.
I go, the people who do, another sidebar, but the people who do tech support for us, hello, Yellow Technology. I go to a yearly thing, and there are endless. Yeah, what did you think of version 3.3 of
Right?
the
Yeah.
thing? Things that other people would be like, "Oh God,
Yeah.
do I have to do this?" But it excites everybody because
Yeah.
where do you meet those people?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I mean, where else can you develop relationships with people and maybe meet a collaborator, maybe meet someone who can get you a gig, or at least you can talk about not having gigs together, or
Yeah, and it's not going into it transactionally saying, I'm here to meet somebody I can get work
absolutely,
from.
yeah,
But that said, you just open yourself up to possibilities. You just don't know who you're going to meet.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were at an event the other day, and we were stood in in honoring a composer at the time, and we were stood talking to people, and you meet so many people who was like, oh, I know a guy that you know, and and I've known him for 30 years, and all of a sudden you're having a discussion with somebody, and you just don't know what networks you're opening yourself up to. But also, you're right, being able to talk about, commiserating about it. There's nothing around at the moment, and what am I doing? You just don't feel alone.
you
You know?
Well, and I think that at least for me, and maybe this will help some young people out there, if young people ever watch this crazy podcast we're doing, but to go into these situations knowing that the possibility exists of getting a job, and the possibility exists of meeting a collaborator, but just going into it thinking, I just want to be here around these people, not actively looking for those,
since
pitching yourself and, can
I know. I mean,
it changes the vibe a little bit, I think.
It does. I think 10 years ago, it may or may not, wasn't different for me, but it may have been for some people. But certainly post-COVID, more and more people are working in a room by themselves.
Yeah.
And it can be lonely. And you don't know. I mean, you can work and you might not meet people 1 week to the next. And all of a sudden you go to a place and you're meeting other people who are they know what you're going through.
Yeah.
And they do, or they don't do exactly what you do, but a related thing.
Right.
That's, it's a support network as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's really important.
Yeah. So,
So the SCL, good thing, get involved.
but so in talking about this, and we're doing this FYC thing for the Grammys, which has been interesting to say the least.
Yes.
But we got involved with these Facebook groups, right? And I know you have used Facebook groups for years.
I want to talk about Facebook groups specifically, but I'll hold mine.
Go ahead.
So I find Facebook a sort of interesting bedfellow, if you will, because it can be a huge time waster, because I'll start looking at things that have nothing to do with anything.
I mean, social media in general, right?
Yeah,
Lord.
but there's another side to Facebook, and that is it's not dissimilar. This is a weird analogy, but stick with me here. It's not dissimilar. We used to have, I don't think this was a thing in the US, but in the UK, we would have 2 or 3 TV channels. That was it.
Yeah.
There was no specific...
This is when we were kids.
Yeah. I mean, even up to when I was, even not just kids, but I mean, up to the age of 16, 17, there might have been 4 channels at that
Unless
stage.
you had cable. Yeah.
We didn't have it.
Right. Yeah.
There wasn't any.
That was the same here. Yeah.
So there was no specific niche. I really want to watch pickleball TV or
Yeah.
that wasn't a thing.
No, yeah.
It was all general.
Yeah.
And this is a weird segue, but this is similar.
Okay.
What Facebook has done is allowed groups of like-minded people to section off and make a Facebook group about smaller and smaller niche things. So they could be as specific as I use Pro Tools and I want to talk to people who use Pro Tools. And that could be because I want to say, can you believe they haven't done this? But it can be very specifically, how do I find this function? So it could be anything.
Yeah.
But you know you're talking to somebody else that uses what you use. But that's also the case for I'm a composer. Or I'm a composer of visual media, or I'm a composer of visual media for animation, or really more and more and more and more niche, right down to, I mean, I'm a member of a group, and I've name-checked Dan Graham before on the podcast, but Dan wrote a book called The Composer's Guide to Library Music, and there is an associated Facebook group. At first, that was about the specifics of the book.
Right.
Then it became more than that, to me anyway. If I want to talk to other library music composers, I'm not in a group of other library music composers, but everybody in that group is interested in writing production music, or is already doing it, or is really into it for 20 years. And I know publishers who are in that group.
Right,
I know
sure,
our
sure, sure.
publisher.
So
is
it's a
in that
resource.
group.
Yeah.
So it becomes a resource. Thank you. That's a good way of putting it. So as well as being a place to meet people, if I want to know something, I put it up there. And I also give back. I see questions up there and I can answer the question up there.
Absolutely.
But where else are you going to find that?
Thank God it's a unique thing for our time, right? That I mean, it's been around for a while now, obviously, but
I mean,
yeah,
it's so specific. I mean, we talked last time about these tablets that we use, these remarkable tablets. I'm on groups very specific how to make a Canva template for the right size in one group.
You were working it.
Well, the thing is, I don't have to trawl through. If I want to find something out, I don't have to go on Google and be searching. I just go on a group, I ask a question, somebody answers the question, and then I go back to it when I need it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you can use that for, fixing your toilet, too. Fixing your sink.
That's my point, is it's a community of like-minded people, or anything you want to find out.
Yeah, that's
and
pretty
so
cool.
there's Facebook groups. So I think those are very useful, worth looking at.
I totally agree. So I made a small list of groups that I've been in my life that have meant something to me. And some of them I was only in the group because of the place I was working, which is interesting, which leads me to our audio network discussion, because I was thinking of how one's work can sort of sometimes be considered a group, right?
Yeah.
And I do feel like the people we work with via audio network is a community that I like, of like-minded people that I feel, kinship with, and that it doesn't always have to be strangers. It can be maybe it's a mind shift or how you look at something, but yeah,
it can be sometimes you dip in and out.
Yeah. So I used to work at a mallet company about Mike Balter mallets. And we would go to PASIC every year, Percussive Art Society International Convention. And that was a group of percussionists. And it was about the same thing, community, advocacy, teaching, which is just such a cool thing. If you're a drummer or a percussionist, look it up, Go to PAS. It's such a fun show. And we used to go to the Midwest Music Conference in Chicago, which again is a conference, and people are using it to sell their goods and perform and stuff. But again, it's all about community, right? Bringing people together who love the same stuff.
You know what? You've just reminded me of something that I've written no notes on and hadn't thought of, and it's just jumped into my head. And I'm going to just look over here for a minute. I want to say hello to the Honley Male Voice Choir.
There you go.
I am a proud member of a choir. Look them up online. I was never going to join a choir. I'm busy. I've got other stuff on, and I do lots of musical stuff. So my father-in-law, Gareth, hi Gareth, moved in next door, and they've always been in choirs. And
so you guys joined the choir.
He went to go to the choir, and I said, well, I'll come with you, just to get you bedded in, just settled in. He didn't need that at all, but I went along, and I've stayed.
Yeah.
But my point being that there is a community around this choir. We go to events and dinners, and there's an archery tournament next week, and there's
fun.
This
Absolutely.
completely nothing to do with the reason. So it's become a group of friends.
Right.
And in fact, even this morning, I got a message on a WhatsApp group. Where are you? What are you doing? So I was putting pictures of the canyon we were at yesterday. I can't even remember the name of the canyon we were at yesterday, but I was putting pictures and telling people what I'm doing. Nothing to do with the choir. It's a community.
Yeah.
And interestingly, some people in that community, it might be one of their only communities.
Yeah, exactly.
And it can be a very valuable thing outside of the reason why you get together.
Right.
It's a you know.
So yes, I mean, that's obviously, everything's a community, right? I mean, church can be a community, the PTA can be a community. And we started this discussion by talking about music stuff. And I don't know if people think of it the same way, but maybe, our discussion today will help them reach out and think, oh my God, you know what? I bet you I really like, playing the oboe. And even if it's just for fun or, I'm going to find the oboe community out there.
But what's interesting, hook me up because I'm an oboist.
Yeah.
But I think the important thing is some people want in-person stuff. Some people get freaked out by that and they want it online. But you can find communities in a way that you couldn't. Of all of the terrible, terrible things that happened during COVID, one of the good things that came out are more and more online communities because we had to have them.
Right. So,
and so as well as having communities of people near you, I'm in communities with people who are all over the world, and I don't even think about it as community until we're overtly talking about it.
Right. Yeah.
And then you think, yeah, that's true. I was talking to one of the guys who's local to here, who's an audio network composer, and we chat occasionally, not often, but we chat occasionally, but without that sense of, we belong to the same thing. And equally, talking audio network, we were at a function the other day and we met somebody who works for the company who was saying, oh yeah, I know you. And you think,
how do you know me?
Okay.
Well, stalker.
Yeah, but we've never met.
Not really.
But no.
Yeah.
But we've never met.
Yeah.
But there is this community of stuff.
There you go.
And you don't even always know that it's there until you look.
Until you look. So
very interesting.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I think this has been great. I think the important thing is, for me, and I'm not going to dwell on this, but over the years I've had my mental health issues, and isolation is a bad thing. I don't care who you are and how much you think I like being by myself. Isolation is just bad. It's not good.
Yeah.
You don't have to go in person to stuff. You don't have to put yourself into a position that you're not comfortable. But for what it's worth, I think being prepared to talk to somebody, and I don't mean a professional.
You mean
I just
as far as these community
physically talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Whether it's text talk, whether it's actually talk. But this is good for...
It can be helpful. It's good for your brain.
I think it's really important to actually be part of a community in any form. I think it's important. I'm good.
Met my wife doing community theater. Get out there, folks. Do something.
There you go.
There you go. All right. Hey, I hope you enjoyed our little talk about communities. Why not, right?
Until the next time.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
Thank you.